Hello, everybody. I'm Jonathan Coachman, and this is Super Bowl Sunday on EA Sports. Up next, we'll see Jared Goff and the NFC champion Los Angeles Rams as they'll square off against Tom Brady and the Super Bowl champion New England Patriots. Kickoff now just moments away. It is finally time to crown a champion as I'll hand it over to the two men who will call the action, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight, it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Godden along with the man who has had to stick with me all season long, Charles Davis. And Charles, the anticipation, the hype, the media coverage, all in the rear-view mirror now. We can finally get down to playing some football.
Yeah, don't worry about that, partner. I'll ride or die with you anytime. You know that. But here's the best thing about this. Everyone talks about trying to keep things normal as they approach for Super Bowl. There is no such thing as normal. The pageantry, the hype, all of that is more intense than anyone could ever imagine. What you're trying to do is embrace it in one way and make sure it doesn't totally knock you off your game. That's why the night before the big one, teams often switch hotels, try and give those guys that last chance to breathe a little bit before they go out and play.
The first Super Bowl of the new decade, Super Bowl 54, is underway. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their quarterback, the guy out of California, the former Cal Bear, Jared Goff.
While in college, quarterback teams that improved their win total from 1 his freshman year to 5 his sophomore year to 8 his junior year. Love that type of improvement. Love that type of diligence.
Now the third leading rusher in the NFL last year, Todd Gurley. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. Lawrence Guy able to bring him down. Quickly now, here's a look at the Rams offense.
And I think the entire league benefited when Andrew Whitworth made the decision to come back for his 13th NFL season. Still one of the best offensive tackles in the game. 4 Pro Bowls, 2 times first-team All-Pro. He's now 10th among active players in the NFL in games started.
And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels. Because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Goff now to throw. Throw left side, complete to Cup. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Now we see a man who got a workout in last year's Super Bowl, Johnny Hekker, on to punt for the Rams. Back deep for New England, Julian Edelman. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Patriots here to get their first shot on offense. And they're led out by a guy who's done just about everything you could ever imagine to do in this league, the great Tom Brady.
It's been a lot of fun watching him develop in his career. But that will to win, he's had that probably since birth, and it transmits itself throughout his entire ball club. Watching him play, it can be an absolute joy unless you're on the other team.
Now the leading rusher for the Pats last year is a rookie, Sony Michel. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It can be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Micah Kaiser was in on the tackle. And now we take a peek at the Patriot offense.
And the big story, of course, no Rob Gronkowski at tight end. Who's going to step up for the big-time playmaker? Who's going to give Tom Brady the security blanket that he used to have from big number 87?
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense.
Brady gives to Michel. That'll go as a loss of 9, and it leads to 3rd down. The Rams calling on their nickel set here defensively for 3rd down. Shotgun now for Brady. Trying to lay one up deep. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
On 4th down on now is the lefty Ryan Allen to punt. JoJo Natson back deep for the Rams. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
We're scoreless after 1. Back live now to begin the 2nd quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Rams with a football to get us going as they've got it 2nd down and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Gurley now out of the gun. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Edelman set to return. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Patriots take over. Now this offense about ready to take over again. They've been playing the field position game thus far. No score, 2nd quarter as they come up on 1st and 10.
Mike is 59. Mike is 59. Watch one.
They begin with Michel on the ground. He'll have a first down past the 40 and brought down across the 50 to the 49-yard line. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
That looked like a two-deep coverage, which we call cover two. And what that really means is you have corners, what we call rolled up in about a 5-yard area on the outside receivers. Then your safeties are back closer to the hash marks near the middle of the field, somewhere around 10 to 12 yards back. So if you can break through the first level, you've got a chance to run before you encounter any type of resistance from the safeties.
We saw the example of it right there. They'll run it here. This is James White. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory. Corey Littleton, Pro Bowler for the first time a season ago, in to make the tackle.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a first down on a gain of 10. Two minutes on the clock in the second quarter of this Super Bowl. A reminder, coming up at intermission, we'll get highlights of this Super Bowl from Jonathan Coachman and the crew in Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report. And it's hauled in by Ben Watson. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Brady now to throw. Looking for the end zone. And that's going to be caught for a Patriot touchdown. With the first touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Pats able to cash in for 6. They pointer, they found a gap there on the post pattern in the middle of the end zone.
And ordinarily that's a tough spot to find because there's usually coverage to take away that portion of the field. But they found a gap and they exploited it.
Now Stephen Gostkowski on for the extra point. And he gets it to make it 7-0 Patriots. 5 plays there on that drive. And it ends with a New England touchdown. Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Looking again in the direction of Woods, and it's 2nd down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Goff. Man open, it's Kupp. He's got it. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Delayed give, Goff to Gurley. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their 2nd, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. He's going to dump it off to Gurley. No gain there, and it's going to bring up a third down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down.
Brandon, just
Todd Gurley, wave goodbye. The 20. Touchdown, LA. Todd Gurley, 64 yards. And the Rams are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And a little time left on the clock, so on the other side, they're thinking, gosh, we'd like to get that lead right back.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. Here I am going ahead and tapping out the first half.
Well,
there's still time. They've got to make a decision about what they want to do on the kickoff, whether they want to let their return guy touch it.
Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it winds up with a touchdown for Los Angeles. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Brady. Eluding the pressure right. A nice job of eluding the pressure there, scrambling for 11. Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Brady going to try and throw on 3rd down. And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Here's Ryan Allen now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. But he will not make the first down marker. And that'll be a turnover on downs.
Here we go.
So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Zuerlein's kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we've come upon halftime in the big one, the Super Bowl, as we go up to Orlando now. So the halftime show of the Super Bowl abbreviated, ready to go for the second half.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one's been as good as advertised. Just a field goal separating these two teams, as they've already made their way back out of the locker room. So to bring you the story of the second half, let's get you right back out to Brandon Gaudin.
Brady and the Patriots now 1st and 10 at the 20. They start the second half with Michel on the ground. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side, the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. First down, here's White. The former Charger All-Pro Eric Weddle on the stop.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
They stay on the ground with White. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
2 straight 4-yard runs, and it is steadily working the ball downfield. To me, they're staying right on schedule. First down, you want 4 yards or more to set up the rest of the drive. They're getting exactly that.
And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
3rd and 2, right? So this is a situation where low man has got to win at the line of scrimmage, but it's not just the low man winning. It's the low man who's winning with some force, and they had that to pick up the first down.
Barely picking it up, but they did. 2 first downs have them up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. They defer to White out of the shotgun. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Corey Littleton, Pro Bowler for the first time a season ago, in to make the tackle. On second down, it's White. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Going deep. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. Just shy of the 20. They'll get 34 yards there.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Again, this is Michelle. Corey Littleton there on the tackle.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 1 quarter remains here in the Super Bowl. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. To throw is Brady. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And the 13-year man puts it through. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. So with less than a minute gone by here in this 4th quarter, the field goal there gets this thing back to even.
And it's setting up for a fantastic finish, isn't it, partner? It's been a well-played game, a hard-hitting game. The fans are into it. The announcers are into it. This is going to be a great 4th quarter.
All level now and 10 apiece as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Goff going to hand it to Gurley. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. The tackle was made by Michael Bennett. Another carry, same story. 4th quarter, and he is in red numbers right now with a running game.
Hard to believe because you figure at some point you break off a run. But in this case, what we're seeing is just pure domination by the defense. I think it started with the scouting report. They got into what they were doing offensively, into their mindset, and now they're beating them to the punch on every snap.
They got a man. It's Woods. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Line of scrimmage, again, the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Back to the ground game here, Gurley. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 3rd down, they'll run it with Gurley. And for the 3rd straight play, he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll bring up 4th down. We've had some wild Super Bowl finishes recently. 49 in Arizona, 51 in Houston, now this one. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the 4th. What a tough spot to miss a kick, just an absolute letdown.
Look, they got themselves in the field goal range, gave them a chance to take the lead. They come up empty, and now you wonder, will their offense ever see the football again?
Yeah, because on the other side, one through the post, and this thing could be over. Now the Patriot offense set to take over again. They need to get this around the 40 on the other side to get into field goal range. Look at the clock, a decent amount of time here in a tie game. What do?
No panic situation at all. They've got to get a couple of chunk plays, pick up nice bits of yardage.
Target the sidelines.
Target the sidelines because you want to get out of bounds and make sure that clock stops. Because if the clock stays running, that makes things that much tougher for you. It can always bleed out on you.
Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. New England on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll try to pick this up on the ground with White. It's a gain of 8, and it'll wind up moving the chains. The Patriots will take their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Brady to throw. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The veteran Eric Weddle there to break that one up. A really nice knockdown. He gets so much pressure in these situations on defensive backs. What are they taught?
Play the ball, not the man, because if you have a pass interference penalty in this spot, boy, oh boy, you put your team in a bad place.
Brady's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. Brady deferring to White on the draw. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Now they've got to signal that field goal unit, and they have to sprint out there in a hurry.
And this is always difficult on the snapper because his heart rate is way up there. He's got to calm himself enough to make an accurate snap.
And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Overtime in a playoff game, awesome setup. Remember, the rules the same as they would be in the regular season.
That's exactly right, Brandon. Remember, the receiving team, if they score a touchdown, game is over. But if they kick a field goal or don't score, the other team gets a chance to get the football. They get a possession. If they go down and score, they win the football game at that point. If both teams kick field goals, we keep playing. If a defense scores, let's say the receiving team gets the ball, doesn't score, or they throw a pick six or fumble, gets picked up, the defense scores, game over. But here's the best part. In the regular season, only one period is played. We could call it a tie. Here, we're going to play until we have a winner.
Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. He wasn't able to really get anything going in regulation. Maybe it'll be a little different story here in overtime.
And it appears that with that call, they want to establish the run in overtime, try and set the tone for what they're going to get done. And you're right, maybe it didn't work so well in regulation. Overtime could be the charm. And by the way, yards count either way.
Another nice job there defensively. They've really stymied their passing attempts, and it continues in overtime.
And for them to do that, that means they've had to be cohesive on defense. Pressure in the quarterback's face, good coverage of not just the wide receivers, but the tight end, the running backs when they try and slip out, and making sure they're at the point of attack. When the ball's in the air, they get there and help force some of those incompletions.
And now Edelman, a nice little juke. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Pats will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part 1 is done, now part 2. And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case.
And he is going to go down in the end zone. It's a safety, and the game is over. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Ooh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. The Rams have won the Super Bowl, and they will get the Lombardi Trophy. For the victors getting to hoist that Lombardi Trophy, you know, we've talked to guys that have done it, and they say there's no better feeling in sports.
I don't know how there can be. The journey to get to this game is incredible. And then to finally break through and win it when all eyes are on this game alone because there's nothing else going on, that's just got to be absolutely amazing. The task, incredible. But the accomplishment, forever.
And they are the Super Bowl champs. The Lombardi Trophy is theirs, and so are bragging rights for an entire season. What a season it has been. Feels like we have been there every step of the way. Our entire crew doing a wonderful job. Thanks to my broadcast partner, Charles Davis. For all those guys, I'm Brandon Gaudin signing off. We'll talk to you next season right here on EA Sports.